Hi everyone and welcome back to Evocative Scents. Well, if you are looking for a fall and winter fragrance, especially from a Middle Eastern brand, this video might give you a new perspective. Just like after the dark and gloomy rains, the fall and winter totally gives a new look. I think these are some of the finest fragrances each of these Middle Eastern brands have produced. I would not say the best because what I think is the best might not be for you. Best or not, if you like fragrances and content like these, please consider subscribing to the channel, and while you are there, do not forget to hit that notification bell as well. Let's start up the list with one of the most popular Middle Eastern brands, of course the Lattafa. There are various fantastic fragrances from the house of Lattafa, but this one really stands out for me. While still not being priced highly among the Lattafa fragrances, like the Lattafa Pride lineup, it still smells as good as the designer fragrances, if not better. When you will try it for the first time, you might think that it is another Kilian's Angel Share clone, but trust me, it isn't one. It smells very boozy with almost honey-like sweetness with a soft twist of saffron. Why I said soft? Because many times in fragrances, saffron has an overpowering smell. This isn't the case with the Teriaq Intense. If you are on the fence for buying a new camera, I would highly recommend you to consider the Teriaq Intense. It's a significantly better fragrance with very good performance, I would say. Check out the full review of this fragrance. I would put it on the top I button. The next fragrance of this list is from the house of Fragrance World. It is the Apex, a clone of Blazing Mr. Sam from Penhaligon's. It's a very versatile, cool weather fragrance. There are some fantastic French Avenue fragrances, but for this video, I am not considering any sub-brands. And these fragrances are going to be way cheaper than those fragrances anyway. While the previous fragrance was perfectly unisex, this perfume leans towards the masculine side. It opens up a bit sharp with lot of spicy nuances, with the prominent ones being the cardamom and black pepper. If you like fragrances like Bulgari Man in Black or the Spice Bomb, this one is in the similar space. Don't get me wrong, this is not a clone of those fragrances, but it will remind you of something like those fragrances. There is also presence of tobacco, but it doesn't have that dirty and acid quality, with perfect amount of sweetness from the vanilla to balance it all out. The bottle design is also very beautiful, and once again you can check out the full review of this fragrance on my channel. Let's move on to the next brand, and it is the Ahmed Al Maghribi, and unsurprisingly it's the Blue Oud. This was the first perfume from the house of Ahmed that I had reviewed on my channel, and from that day till today I have reviewed several Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances. They have some of the longest lasting and very high quality fragrances for the price, and if you haven't tried any fragrances from this house, you might be missing out on some gems. Coming back to the Blue Oud, this is not a fresh fragrance. It is mostly a dark fragrance with fresh elements sprinkled on it. Basically, it's an oud and leather fragrance with hint of citrus and light bit of sweetness with some smokiness and touch of powderiness as well. This cologne can be slightly polarizing in nature, but it does garner me a lot of compliments as well. I would not recommend you to blind buy this fragrance, but give it a try. You may just fall in love with this fragrance. The performance of Blue Oud is fantastic. I easily get about 7 to 8 hours of longevity and little bit more in the cool weather, and good projection for the first 1.5 hours. If you like your perfume to be slightly mysterious and unique, Blue Oud won't disappoint you. Now let's move on to another big Middle Eastern brand. From the house of Armaf, I could have picked again a lot of fragrances, but I have picked a fragrance that I have a soft corner for. The bottle you are currently seeing is the second bottle because I like this fragrance so much. A very warm, sweet, spicy, but this time the spices are very aromatic in nature, not like the spices that are on your face. In fact, the spicy nuances are very smooth, along with a heavy dose of amber and little bit of sweetness, making it slightly more mature but still pretty unisex. The Niche Oud was released at the time when Armaf was still finding its feet in the fragrance industry. At that time, the Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT was very affordable and sometimes under 1000 Indian rupees mark. And Niche Oud being one of the finest fragrances they have produced till today speaks a lot of volume for it. And don't worry about the oud in the name, there isn't any. Basically, it is a very beautiful sweet amber fragrance with spices giving it the depth. The longevity on clothes is pretty good, about 7 to 8 hours, but the projection is on the softer side. If you haven't tried this fragrance, I would highly suggest you try this one out. After turning the clock back, let's move on to something new. And this is a very recent release from the house of Afnan, the fantastic 9 PM Elixir. Although this fragrance has a little bit of similarity to JPG Lemel Elixir Absolute, this one isn't a straight up clone. Yes, this is also also a sweet tobacco and vanilla fragrance, but with lot more spices, little bit of warm amber and hint of fruitiness. Superb performance with good projection and much more versatile than Lemel, Elixir or any of its clone. If you are getting hold of this fragrance at a very good price, trust me, don't skip on this one. This perfume is not overly sweet and those spices make it much more mature and office friendly as well. For more details about this fragrance, check out my full review. I was also thinking about covering the Zemaya Inecus Luna, but it is a sub-brand of Afnan, so I will be covering that fragrance in some later video. Finally, from the house of Rasasi, yes, I could have featured the Layuk Worm, but that one is priced much higher than rest of the fragrances, even somewhat similar to designer fragrances. And I will be covering the designer fragrances for fall and winter this month sometime later. Now coming back to the Rasasi Havas Elixir, it is very similar to Jean Paul Gaultier Lemel Elixir, a bit more chocolatey, little bit less tobacco, and definitely lot more mint in it. I also find the Havas Elixir to be the longest lasting among the Havas lineup, and that too by some margin. And it is also unisex in my opinion. If you want to check the full review, you can once again find it on my channel, or even better, if you want to check all the Rasasi Havas fragrances, you can check the video on the top I button. Just as I was finishing the video, I remembered that I missed out on the Paris Corner fragrances and perhaps many more Middle Eastern brands. Let me know in the comment section which fragrances should I have featured and which brands did I miss out on. And if you have any feedback for this or any of my previous video, absolutely feel free to comment down below. And if you took anything value of this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so, because your support truly means a lot to me. And that's it for today's video. I will be back with another exciting video. Till then, stay safe and as always, stay honest.